Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your legend shenanigans for the day. We are rocking the Pan-European Destroyer Tier 6 Grom, so these suckers are great, tons of fun. I think most of the community agrees these are a pretty strong set of ships. We don't get radar yet with Grom, so we are going to have to fight like a man when we come up on these ships. So Skane gets himself spotted, right? I'm going to hold off on, we held off on firing there just for a little bit to see if we could kind of get away from this, but we're not going to be able to. I would like to be able to stay in the zone if possible to try and solidify this capture. We are going to have to potentially watch out for torpedoes from both the Skane and the Leander. Has decent range on his torps as well. No AP shells for these ships, so we are stuck with HE, even though he has, even though this cruiser is nice and broadside, that would be nice to switch to AP there, right? But so we'll tough it out in the zone for now. So far, so good. No torpedoes. Never mind, there they are. All right, let's see if we can split between these. We might be okay right here. There we go. Easy peasy. So zone's capped. We're not going to be able to make too much use of our smoke screen, it looks like, so see what we can do here. May just be a matter of us spotting. At least we could go and spot that cruiser, potentially, because we've got a cruiser and battleship here on our flank helping out. But we'll send torpedoes, see if we get lucky there. And we're going to be ready over here as well. Yep, here he comes. Okay. Looks like he's between... Oh, I was thinking we could get away with that shot without getting spotted. I was like, he's between us and the smoke. Or the smoke's between us and him, but that destroyer must be around here somewhere still, too. Yep, sure enough, destroyer pops up on the mini-map there. He's firing at me, right? We've got a little bit more guns than he does, so we can potentially focus our attention on him. Help get destroyers off the board. That's how you win the games. There's 4 of them in this one, so we might as well do some work here. Got an assist off of the Leander. As expected, our battleship and cruiser were able to take him out just fine. We'll eye up this Normandy with torpedoes and then go back to work on the Skane here. Do have him on fire and engine damage, looks like. And then maybe not using Unstoppable. So he's dead in the water. You can see the sparks coming out of his smokestack. That's how you know they have engine damage. Get the kill on that one. Normandy's still pushing around the corner here. This will be a little bit of a risky move to go toe-to-toe with him here, but I'm going to guess he's looking through our zone, right? So we might still have a little bit of element of surprise. We did get spotted by the planes for a brief moment there, so... but let's have fun with this one. We're up 2 ships. This does end up being quite a competitive game, though, so we'll call that out now. And if he's going to turn for us, we could potentially wait for that. Nope, he decides not to. So we'll hold on to torpedoes, so we've got a nice broadside shot. It's going to take him way too long to get his guns over here. So we're going to have a nice, easy run at it. Yep, his guns are looking completely the other way. 3 hits wasn't enough to finish him off, though. We'll be patient here. We've got another rack ready. See if he gets a shot off with that rear turret or not. And we get the torp hit there. And he goes down from the flood. There we go. A little bit risky, but when you are that close to battleships, sometimes you can get away with it just because their turret traverse is so slow. It also just depends on what kind of secondaries they're working with, too. We'll start moving up to help support the B-hole here. Bravo Cap. Still 3 destroyers left. We don't have a lot of health. Looks like my team got their butts kicked over at Charlie. So we're going to have to go into Bravo here and see what shows up. We are ahead on points for the time being, just because we got that early capture. They must have capped Zone C as well. This is now getting taken back by the red team. So now they're up 2 zones to our 1. It's this destroyer, this Amahan. Yeah, he's low on health too, so this might be good for us. We'll try and take some shots at him. And spotted the carrier, but he's going to be out of our range there. We'll prioritize the zone. We could keep moving up on him here. Which way is he going? And we do potentially have, right, when this with this particular map, a lot of times when the Charlie cap is overtaken like that, you're going to have those ships coming through directly towards B, so you get this nice little alleyway here. So we could potentially shoot torpedoes down there, even though we don't even know if anybody's coming. But that's where I'm going to guess people are going to be coming from. We'll try and get the zone capped here. Just checking this, see if we'd have an angle on the carrier, but doesn't look good there. So here, like, more so just trying to trigger a fire. So if we can get close enough, ideally I get close enough to send torpedoes towards him. Is this battleship going to leave us alone too? That'd be nice. Trying to get the carrier locked on here. We've got smoke if we need it. Yeah, he's just moving away, just barely staying out of our range here. Now, there's the fire we wanted, though. Alright, we're gonna drop the smoke, see if we can whittle him down. Might have a shot on the Fuso with torpedoes, though, as he moves in. And then, yeah, B is getting capped, right? So, as suspected, right, we probably had destroyers coming through between the islands over from the Charlie cap. Taking blind shots at us while we're in the smoke here, that's fine. There goes high caliber. We're down we're down a ship now. And we're about to be down the zone again. They're already almost done with B, so I'm guessing there's multiple ships in B here. I was hoping for the cruiser to finish off their carrier. We could potentially finish off this battleship. We're still going to have to deal with 1 more battleship and 3 destroyers, though. And I don't really have the health for that. Somebody get him. He just needs to be sneezed on. There we go. There we go. Alright, carrier down. That's kill number 3 for us. Another torp hit on Fuso with a flood. Hopefully that sticks. It looks like he's on fire too, so I'm going to guess that's flooding. Yep, we're still getting damage ticked. Alright, let's see what's over here in the B hole. And we get spotted right away. Akatsuki is low on health. That is a Christmas miracle for us. We'll take care of that. I don't know if that I would have pushed in that hard on a Grom if I have a sliver left in an Akatsuki. That gives us 4 kills, though. They've got 3 ships left here. Carrier's using his last little plane drops to pick on us because he got rid of our cruiser, which is not good. Or somebody got rid of the cruiser, potentially the Fuso. It does put us up to 137,000 damage. That's pretty hefty for tier 6 destroyer. And then we know the both other battleships are over this direction, right? So, and then somebody did some cleanup on the other destroyer, right? We got the Akatsuki. There was one other one, and then we had gotten the Skane early on too. And then now Alpha's getting capped. So I'm gonna guess that last destroyer went all the way through from C to B, got B capped, and then it just kept going, and now he's over at A. So that's gonna put our aircraft carrier at risk over there. I'm going to send it. We're going to send all our torps here. See if we can get away with firing our guns. Yep, a little bit. And we're spotted here. Okay. Yeah, it's the Florida. We were just a little too close. Probably should have saved a rack of torpedoes. Because now we get that flood there. And then, yeah, if he had damage con, right, we would have, yep, and he's going to damage con the flood, right? So we definitely should have saved a rack of torpedoes. Got a little overexcited there and sent them both at once. Because now we could have been sending another one now and hopefully triggering a flood and he wouldn't have damage con. So that's a mistake on my part. We'll see if we can trigger a fire here as we duck behind the island. Up on points and up a ship. Until now, lose our New Mexico there. Both of these battleships are coming around this corner, though. And yep, Florida's backing up. We're going to get Wither, though. See if Fuso keeps coming in. I sent the torpedoes, right, just in case they if they start moving forward here. But we're going to run into an issue with points here. We're really, really close. We're only a little bit ahead, and they've got 2 zones to our 1. So I really do actually need to, like, right, I don't have enough time to go to a zone and make it into it and capture it to kind of balance this here. So we are going to need a kill. And that should, if we could get a battleship, get a kill, that would give us enough of a point swing, right, to win the game. So now they're ticking ahead on points. See if we can trigger a cheeky fire, and we lose our carrier, so that's going to be it. That's huge. So then now, I don't even think I could kill both of these guys. I don't even think that would be enough points at that point. Right, if you lose your carrier, that's a big point swing, right? Because the other team gains some points for killing a ship, and then you lose some points for losing a ship, and the carrier is the biggest one. So I think it's like at least 100 points of a difference there. So we'll YOLO rush up at these guys and see what happens, because that's what it's going to take. Some sort of miracle here. See how much damage we can do in the last few seconds of our life as this game wraps up. We'll go through the leaderboard and the commander build as well, like I typically do at the end of games. Yeah, and we're the last ship too, so if they finish me off, that's it. Torpedo hit though. Maybe we could get a ram here. Let's see. Got 200 health. All it's going to take is a secondary to hit us, and we're dead, yep. There we go. Alright, we'll take a peek at the board here. We are using Jersey Swirsky for our commander. And then 2400 XP being on the losing team is actually a really, really great score. So, number 1 loser for us there. Almost had a Kraken. That would have been nice to get the Kraken at the end there. That would have had some solace, right? We got a Kraken, we got top of the board, right? But yeah, you get a like 1.5 times multiplier for XP if you're on the winning team. So we didn't get that because we were losing teams, so we still had 2400. It's pretty good. Walked away with some credits there. So I'm using aiming system here for this, right? We're more using our guns quite a bit with this ship. Steering gears, no propulsion mod yet at tier 6. And then concealment system. Yeah, Fleet Cup's out right now, right? Blah, 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 whatever. And then Jersey Swirsky. I've got Sims and do Fornet for inspirations here for more health and HE shell damage, right? Makes sense to build into the HE shells, you don't even get AP, so yeah, and then Observant Rage, Mortar for more guns, Reaching Out for the better range and reload. You could use Twist and Track or Perceptive. I know some of you guys are always confused when I'm not using it. And then we're not using Fox Flare because we don't get radar yet at tier 6, right? So this is where presets would come in, right? This video was recorded before the presets were a thing, right? So, but yeah, so we're using the smoke on the water, but once you get up to the tiers that have radar, you would use this Fox Flare and sort of take advantage of the triggering your smoke while your radar's going to make your radar duration last longer. So that's a super, super powerful perk, and it's free to play commander, so have at that once you get up to that level. And then, yep, I'm using Unstoppable for my legendary perk. And that's going to be it for the day, guys. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you follow the channel. I do appreciate that. And then I do occasionally live stream as well. My live streams are kind of randomly, you know, I don't really schedule them, so your best bet is to hit the notifications button for the channel and get notifications when I go live. Usually it's evenings. I'm Central Time in the US, so keep an eye out for me there. But thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.